We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Hear the drummer get wicked. Here we go again.
Ash Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Hey man, let me ask you something though, bro. How much, if at all, is it different with you guys being on the government shutdown and with the actual work? I know that you are one of the people who are still actively working while there's a shutdown. What does that look like for y'all, man?
I can't really talk about it. Can't
Oh,
talk about it. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No. We got word. We're not allowed to really say anything. I will say that the job. The only thing I will say is the job hasn't changed, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
No, that
still
makes
going to
sense.
work, still doing everything, but that's about as far as I can get into it on that. But I did have a question for you though.
What's up?
NBA's kicked up, um, and there were three teams that I thought might have been a threat to the Thunder. One can still be, but they still got some things to work through. But Houston, Dallas, and the Kings, they've all kind of struggled, but they got squads that would say otherwise. Who out of them three do you think is going to get it together the quickest? And what problems do you see with the way they're currently constructed?
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. Maybe I'm just not listen. Maybe I am just
Hmm.
the old head. I'm gonna say the Warriors, bro. And listen, I'm gonna tell you. Here's where I'm going with
Bro,
that.
they wasn't even in the three.
Here's what this is. I'm gonna tell you that I'm getting there. I think the biggest threat is the Warriors. I think that provided that the Warriors are all healthy, I think the Warriors are gonna be that. And the reason why I say that is that I'm still I'm gonna think this is the Warriors' last window, and so this will be their last hurrah. And I think that it's their this season and maybe next season are the last time we'll see the Warriors as we remember them. But I also think that I think that the Nuggets have been plenty impressive, but I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. I don't know if I like the Nuggets without Brody. I think that they needed depth. They went and addressed depth in the offseason. So they have their bench is decent, but I like Russ playing with them. So it's weird. Without Russ, I don't think that they have the the attitude, the you know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing. But I think that to be honest with you, of these other teams, I don't know. I haven't watched the Rockets play enough, but I'm gonna tell you that who I'm curious about are the Spurs, bro. Um, and the reason why I say the Spurs more than anything, though, man, is because they're pretty good right now, and they don't have De'Aaron Fox, right? And I've told you before, De'Aaron Fox, one of my favorite players. And I think that one of the things that I think is going to be weird is the dynamic of him being on because he is kind of a scoring point guard. And I told you before, I have something about when your scoring point guard is also like your leader in assists because he's a score first point guard, right? But I think it's clearly Wimby's team. Now, for some reason, it's still watching Wimby is weird to my eye, though, bro. Like he doesn't look real, bro.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
that's the reason why they call him the alien, but he does not fit I guess it would be equivalent to seeing Wilt back in those days
Mhm.
but also handling the rock and Wilt shooting more jumpers than all the dunks. So it's so weird, but to see, but I am very impressed with how he's able to wield his dominance, though, bro, especially on the defensive side of things, because he's going to force force you to make a different shot, alter your shot, or block it right on defense every time. And I like that he doesn't seem to care about getting dunked on, because as a shot blocker, you ain't gonna get all of them, right? I think that I'm gonna be honest, of those teams, I think, to be honest with you, man, it's the Spurs that I think are the new team that I would say is a threat, though, bro.
I get it, but that wasn't the question that I asked you, bro. I said, out of the 3 teams that are struggling, which one of those 3 teams are gonna figure it out? And you giving me threats.
I'm giving you my bad. So the team, tell me again, the 3 teams.
Okay, the 3 teams that are struggling right now: the Kings, Houston, and Dallas. I thought, based upon what's on paper, right, those would have been a threat. And now, like I said, Houston, for some reason, they just when they play the Thunder, they just match up well against the Thunder. But I'm saying, ultimately, though, they haven't. Those 3 teams haven't been playing well. So I'm trying to figure out which one of those teams will figure it out.
Which one to turn it around? Listen, I think that if you're telling me that the Mavs, if there's a possibility of Kyrie coming back in February after the All-Star break, I'm more inclined to say that the Mavs, because I think that their roster is very competitive from top to bottom. And I think that what the Mavs are doing is trying to figure out what their starting lineup will look like, since they don't have Kyrie. And they're also incorporating Cooper Flag, who I've been very impressed with outside of that first game, and he got that one out of the way. I think that Cooper Flag is what I thought he was. So because of that, I think that just if AD is healthy, I think that he's going to always give you a certain level of productivity that's going to keep you around. I just think that with the other guys that are missing, and the addition, or with Kyrie missing, and with the addition of Cooper Flag by the time he gets there, I think that it will. I think that it'll be the Mavs, though, bro. I do.
Okay. The Thunder held him to 2 points yesterday, though.
No, that is very true. I think that this is what I think. What I believe Cooper Flag to be able to do. I think that with him still being in his rookie year, I think that there are some teams who will be like, nah, it ain't happening with us, right? We ain't gonna be the one. So that's one thing. But I also think that he's good enough to where he'll start to figure it out. And I would imagine that by the All-Star break, you'll see him start to really. It's like it's no different from what you saw. If you remember Paolo Banchero's rookie year, he had some great games, some low games, great games, low game, and then it start to figure out where you like, nah, he really that dude. And I think that Cooper Flag would do the same thing, though, bro.
Okay. Now the Kings, though, they got so much talent. They full of guards, but they got so much talent. And I'm just wondering why they can't get it together.
I think it's because they're full of guards, though, bro. And listen, I honestly believe that naturally guards are scorers, though, bro. And so when you have all the guards on the same team, if you don't have a true pass first point guard, I think that makes your whole dynamic look differently, because then you're trying to play, let's just get the best position players out there, positionless players out there. But I think that you still have to have somebody who's a true facilitator of that, though, man. And so I don't know, man. I mean, because they got some guards. I don't know about their bigs, but
now they got Sabonis.
I mean,
no, Sabonis is good. You ain't finna disrespect Sabonis like that, bro.
He's not good. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying this. Sabonis, to me, has a little James Harden in him when it comes time for the playoffs. So for the regular season, it's cool. But I think that when the playoffs come around, I've seen him play in the regular season drop down tremendously, bro. So I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm not at all implying that he's trash. I'm just saying that I wouldn't look at him and say he puts us over the top like that. That's all.
All right. Well, let's get this music popping up and we'll get into everything else.
Let's do it, man.
Podcast of all time. The Slide greatest podcast. The greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook page and our TikTok page. We're live on both platforms at the same time. Whenever you click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys is doing a thing. Ace Kennedy. Is it officially hoodie season out there, man?
You said what?
Is it officially hoodie season out there yet?
I can't say officially because like today it's cold. It's cold. Like it was 50, 56 when I went and picked up Charlie. Yesterday was like 62. But we'll turn around and have an 84-degree weather, 92-degree weather at the same time. Like it'll be cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon, and then cold in the evening. So it ain't officially that time yet.
Yeah, it's funny though, man. We've been this week, it's been weird because now that the hurricanes are near, we typically get rain around now. So we got a little bit of rain and it's a little cooler out here now, but this is the weather that's right up my alley. It's like for a fall lover, this has been exactly what I couldn't wait for. This is officially sweater weather. Yeah, sweater weather.
Yeah. Yeah, like I had my cardigan on Sunday. I had my Freddy Krueger cardigan on. It was dope. It was dope. So,
but then speaking of Freddy Krueger though, man, Halloween coming up this weekend, man. Y'all got anything planned for it?
Layla's senior game is Friday, so we'll be there. And then me and Deuce got something going on after that, but I'll tell you off camera on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about it is that so I'm kind of in a sticky place when it comes to that because so in my subdivision, I am on the HOA board and I'm also one of the people who are responsible to go look around and check out the different houses. We have a decoration contest, best house. So I got to do that, but I also want to give out candy, right? But then I also want to have Landon go to our other side of the subdivision and walk the neighborhood. And while I think that he's plenty, old enough to be able to do that on his own, it's weird because I don't go on the other side of our subdivision so much that I don't even know my way around there like that. And so part of me feels like I might have to go over there with him or go double duty to where, we drop him off on over there, maybe wait at our little clubhouse and then he pop up whenever or walk with them. So I don't know what's up. I don't want to be the overbearing parent and then just be hovering around while they're doing the thing as well. But I also I'm looking forward, like I did last year, to actually seeing the babies with the costumes. And our neighborhood is a very big neighborhood. It's one of those neighborhoods where people get dropped off or you might see trucks of kids, or they might park their car on the street and then walk the neighborhood and everything. And so I gotta re-up on candy, of course. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I'm gonna end up being home to pass out candy though this year, though, man.
Yeah. What about Niqua? She heavy into it.
So she probably is more I think that she's probably inclined to be like, I ain't giving out no candy. So if we have to divide and conquer, she will likely go ahead and do the take Landon over, right? But it's funny because Landon's boys, and when it's just hey, it's just the guys, they be like, yeah, mom, can you just stay at home? This is a dad thing. This is a dad territory thing. And she, so yeah, man. But I'm looking forward to both actually though. So I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna be letting down the community if I don't pass out candy though, bro.
That boy said letting the community
down. Man. Letting the community down though, bro.
Yeah. We ain't get to talk about it, man. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it. The Bears and the Saints played, bro. It was a great game.
How great was it, man? How great was it?
I mean, to be honest, it was way more competitive than I thought it was going to be because it's like as soon as I started watching the game, that boy Spencer Rattler was out there balling, and then he started throwing
Mhm.
some interceptions, and so
Yep.
but I will say, like I said, for a period, I got a little nervous. And I got to thinking, bro, I was like, ain't this about something? Both our teams led by some OU quarterbacks.
Both of them led by OU quarterbacks, though, bro.
That's
And
whack.
listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he outplayed him at OU and took his spot, I didn't expect him to outplay him in the game. So I fully expected like it went exactly how I was sitting here thinking like, see, this is the reason why he took his spot to begin with, though,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
And listen, I don't know why. I think everything, I get all my little Saints notification and little Saints groups and everything, and everybody tries to tell me that it's not his fault. Like he's playing better than what his numbers will say, right? And they show, and I see breakdowns of it. I'm not sold on him though, bro. And part of me feels, and maybe it's the OU connection though, bro. I don't know, man. It's just it's weird. I can't get behind him yet though, bro. I just
I
can't.
feel that. We was on a little 3-game win streak, though. Of course, we got dismantled by doggone Ravens backup quarterback, but I was like, really, y'all gonna let this boy Huntley come out here and do this to y'all, bro?
I couldn't believe that, bro. I can't believe. And Huntley, listen, so Huntley's been in the league for 13 years, and he's played for 12 teams, though, bro. He has been around. And listen, you talk about a career backup and made a thriving career because I think that he's averaged maybe 2 starts a year, and he's truly hey he's like he reminds me of Chase Daniels, some of those career backups where it's like just in case the starter goes down, then he'll play, but it's very rare, and he's always played on teams that have always been very solid at quarterback. So he's never had to play a lot. And so this is his second stint with the Ravens, though, bro. And I'm just here thinking, like, bro, that made some good money out here, though, man, being a
Yeah,
backup, though.
remind me of Fitzpatrick too.
Yes, but Fitzpatrick actually had his opportunity to start. He started probably about 6 seasons total because he started for the Jets for maybe like 2 or 3 years and then started for the Dolphins like 2 or 3 years, though,
Yeah,
man. Before being a backup for a long time, though.
that boy Flacco stock going up.
Listen, man. Listen. Okay, so it's funny you mentioned that though, man. So let me ask you what you think about this though, bro,
Mhm.
because the Browns, they traded Flacco,
Mhm.
and even when they traded Flacco, they were still very reluctant to just make Shador the backup, to formally name him the number 2 quarterback. And they went as far as to go ahead and get Bailey Zappi off the practice squad. And it's weird because even then, I think that they were gearing him up to jump ahead of Shador Sanders. And now Shador's actually hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so Bailey Zappi comes in and he's the number 2 guy. But this is the thing that gets me the most, though, bro. People are basically saying that Kevin Stefanski, this is his way of rebelling against the ownership for basically forcing him to draft Shador Sanders. Like apparently he's always been on your boy from Oregon,
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Graber. They've always been on him though, right? And so here's my thing though, right? So now I'd imagine that, all right, well, you think that at this point you ain't going nowhere with Flacco. Cool. I think it's crazy that you trade him in the division and you wind up seeing him do his thing and beat you or whatever. But I think that one of the things that's interesting, you trade him now, you got room for Dylan Gabriel to go ahead and do his thing. My question to you is this. If Dylan Gabriel gets out there and looks like hot garbage, right? Do you see a scenario where they still don't play Shador, where they would place Bailey Zappi still ahead of him coming off of the practice squad?
I need Shador not to play this year for the Browns.
Mm.
Now, if he gets traded, that's fine. But I gotta bet that he's not getting on the field for the Browns. So I think it's one of those they gonna eat this one. They ain't winning no way. And then you just creating a circus if you put Shador in. So
This is
just
my thing. This is the thing I think that's crazy. I saw that they had players who were on the practice squad come out and said, nah, not the practice squad, but starters, wide receiver. I think it's Jerry Judy got out there and said, nah, Shadur Sanders is balling in practice. It ain't like y'all hearing, right? Now he really is balling and everything like that, which makes it seem like before it was almost like the coaches were making it seem like he just wasn't ready. And they were like, no, he's plenty ready though, right? We seeing it, we know, right? So I think that the part that's interesting is that I think if Shador Sanders gets out here and plays and they win, I think this Kevin Stefanski gets fired immediately after the season because their thinking is, why the hell you didn't Ben played him, right? And if the owners really picked and forced you to pick him, right? The owners are going to be like, well, you won't play him. So I'm going to go ahead and get somebody who will. And listen, the Browns have always been the dysfunctional Browns all my life, though, right? So my expectations for what they'll do with him are low. But my thing is that when it comes down to it, like what does that look like if you put him in? Now you go on a winning streak because you basically have a team that at least made the playoffs last year, right? With Joe Flacco. And now you think that you drafted two quarterbacks because you don't believe that he was the answer long term. Cool, right? But now you put them in, or you draft one guy who was in most cases, a lot of cases, number two, one, number two, whatever you want to call it. And so you got him on your team, though, bro. You play your other quarterback, and if he doesn't succeed, though, bro, and you just sit there and still tell them, nah, I believe that he still is the guy. Let's give him more time. I think that Kevin Stefanski is out there anyway by the end of the year, though, bro. It's
Yeah.
just I think that this is buying him more time because if Shador doesn't play and he goes into next season, they'll be in the same place where they were now, right? It's just it would at least buy him a little bit more time as a job, though. But he's out of there, bro.
All right. Well, same question like I did for NBA. Who's gonna turn it around first? Miami Dolphins or the Browns?
Neither one of them, bro. No, neither one of them. Hey, listen. Hey, listen, bro. I try my best to root for Tua, bro. I do. But if I'm taking my bias out of it, right now, Tua is middle of the road quarterback. He's like how I always told you. How good is your quarterback, or how much worse is your quarterback than Kirk Cousins?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to tell me if your quarterback is worse than Kirk Cousins, you're not even a playoff team, not even a serious contender. If their quarterback is better, you at least have a chance. And I don't think that Tua is better than Kirk Cousins, not at any point. And so, because of that, though, bro, I think that it's about time that you go ahead and blow it up with them, though, bro. I think you got to start blowing up the Miami Dolphins because here's the perfect example. Because if Jameis Winston had about the same number of years as a starter to really prove that he could put you over the top, and it's about what Tua's at now, you got to start thinking like he ain't it though, bro. And I don't know, man. Tua, I'm not gonna say he's not it, but I don't see Tua being a top 15 quarterback this year, next year. I mean, nah, bro. Nah, I don't.
Did you happen to catch that what the cameraman caught up at the Dolphins game?
No.
Jason Taylor?
Oh my God.
Jason Taylor?
Hey, listen. Yes, man. Listen, bro. Okay. What we doing on there, bro? What we doing?
Man, listen, they needed one back for the CEO getting caught up, bro. They needed one. They needed one of us to get caught up. Man, I don't know, bro. Like, you gotta know that that's a potential to happen, bro.
Yeah. Is it that? Listen. You might think the girl's fine. You might think she fine as I don't know what. But do you think that it's needed? Is it necessary for her to be on you like that right then and there? When, for one, everybody in that press box probably knows that you're married. And everybody in the organization's probably met your wife, though, right? And they know that you out here with this little tenderoni, right? And I just think that wasn't necessary though, bro. It's like it's one thing that you out there in the scenario, but was it necessary though for you to put her in that position though, bro? And
Right.
that's why I'm thinking
Because the
like,
thing
no.
is we know you stunting. We know you got her out. You trying to show her a good time, and all of that. Everybody know that that's what you trying to do. So, like you said, was it worth really putting that young lady in that position? Because I'm sure she's a meme all over the internet right now. And yeah, I'm just like, bruh, it's a bad look.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just it's a bad look, and I think that you can almost read his lips verbatim. You knew he was caught up though, right? And my thing is that I thought that there was a kid that was next to him that looked like it may have been like his son. So I'm thinking like, bro, you got your son over here riding with you on this too, though, bro. It's like I don't know, man. Like it's whatever it is. You know, you on the tail end of that now, though, bro.
Yeah,
I don't get it, man.
yeah. What
I
else we
don't
got?
listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this though, bro. So every it seems like I don't know why, bro. I promise you, like every week, sometimes twice a week, right? Somebody DMs me this recently. And let me tell you this recently. I'm gonna tell you this. Neat sends me a note, sends me sends me a DM that says scientists in Thailand has created a serum that'll regrow your hair, right? Right. That'll regrow your hair though, right? And then I saw my mama sent me something that was talking about the little shake hair, real shaking hair and everything like that's waterproof. And then like every once in a while, somebody would send me something. Like for some reason, people just maybe they watching the podcast and have heard me say I would go to Turkey if I had it like that. But people are just sending me stuff like, hey, bro, you might not have to wait that long. Like anytime somebody sends me something that there's this breakthrough in hair growth, bro, I get something from it. I swear it's like once a week. And sometimes it's the same thing though, bro. And I just be like, damn. But listen, did you see Jaylen Brown get out here in the game and he busts a move on somebody, right? And then he's when in the middle of him doing his little swing through, his head brushes up on somebody's jersey and he has a whole little black Beijing stain on the boy's shirt. Did you see that, bro?
I see it, bro.
Listen. Okay, so you remember Jaylen Brown always had them braids, right?
Yeah,
And when he cut his hair down, he had the spray in his joint, and you can see it. It was like worse than Boozers though, right? Because it was like it was terrible. Because at least Boozers, it didn't drip, it didn't do nothing. It was just shiny though, right?
yeah,
Now Jaylen Brown out here violating on all different kind of levels because he put his head down. This what made it look bad is the boy had who he was playing had a white jersey. So when he put his head down and he barely grazed him, bumps his head and then cuts through, and the boy just left a little black stain on his shirt. And I didn't think it was real, bro. I had to go through and look at the actual game.
yeah.
And it was 100. I thought I said y'all going too far with the AI, but it was not AI though, bro.
Dang.
Nasty work though, bro. Absolutely nasty work. And as a bald guy, I think that maybe he's just probably thinking like it ain't time yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
he looked like he still got some hair, but you can clearly tell that he's thinning. And when he had his braids, he had a lot of scalp showing in his braids. That was a bald dude. You know when somebody's time is coming.
Yeah.
So his time was coming. And listen, you had all off season to go to Turkey, though, bro. You had it. Now,
No, he was recovering that because he had a meniscus surgery. Yeah,
and listen, you have meniscus surgery, you get the surgery, you go over to Turkey, you have to sit down on the rehab. You can come back in the off season with your Caesar, head full of hair. 2 seasons later, you can be back wearing braids, though, bro. I've seen it.
yeah,
So my thing is that, bro, when he's out here, I'm talking about, bro, it looked bad. It looks worse every time, though. But I said, no, bro. Beijing just dripped on somebody's jersey, man.
he got that KD going on.
No, it might be worse than KD. And the thing that's worse than what makes it worse than KD is that with KD, you can see all of his scalp, right? He that ball. And what makes KD look bad is that you see a lot of scalp. And then he's also nappy around the scalp, right? Around the ball.
Yeah.
But Jaylen Brown stuff is so bad that where you see KD's scalpy in his, you see Beijing in his. It's sprayed to where it looks shiny though, bro.
Yeah.
It's awful, bro.
That's crazy.
You need to pack it up, bro. Pack it
What's
up and get out of here.
nasty work. Nasty work.
Nasty, bro. It's nasty work.
Yeah. We getting into this verses?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
All right. So let me get my little cheat sheet over here so I can get us
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So first of all, what did you even think about verses before we actually break it down on who won and woo woo woo?
Hey man, so listen. I think the one thing that's kind of odd is that a lot of people still found it difficult to find out where to actually watch it. Because I
Mhm.
saw it on Instagram, but I saw it through Complex, right? But previously it was on Versus. I would watch it on Versus on their live stream. And so a lot of people wanted to just catch it on TV. And I think a lot of people just didn't. So I think that it kind of came fairly recent because I saw it last month. Boom, they had it this month, and it was like a big thing. So I'm just kind of curious on if it would have been more successful if they had planned it out more and gave it more little pageantry behind it. But listen, that's one thing. But I'm gonna keep it a stack with you though, bro. We'll get into who won, but I'll tell you this though, man. I love that Mia X. I love Mia X's flow. I
Mhm.
liked her energy. She seemed to be the most prepared
Yeah.
on the no limit side, right? And I think that on the Cash Money side, though, bro, I appreciated how Juvie carried on their side because to me, like I follow Juvie on Instagram though, bro, and I know that he actively performs, though, right? So a lot of what he did wasn't anything that was unusual. And I thought that it was cool. I thought that those two carried
Stood
though,
up.
bro. And
Yeah.
I didn't expect Mia X to carry it the way she did, but I thought Mia X absolutely carried No Limit though, bro.
All right, well, let's get into it. I'm definitely interested in your opinion because you're a rap guy. So what was interesting to me is because Cash Money had 13 songs and No Limit only had 12. I thought that was weird, but I know
Mm,
they was running out of time, whatever.
yeah,
So first it was 400 Degrees versus No Limit Soldiers. What you got on that one?
I'm gonna go No Limit Soldier.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I think 400 Degrees. 400 Degrees is dope. And did you know that they just shot a video for 400 Degrees, Fresh and Juvie, just like this year? They say he always wanted to do one for it, so they shot a video for it recently, though, man. Um, I thought I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it No Limit Soldier.
Now I'm gonna tell you up front. I don't know all the names of these songs, so I'm just telling you up front. Stay
You
Fly
do
versus Break You Out Something.
break you off some. Don't make me break you off some. And then Stay Fly.
Yeah, yeah. No. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah,
I know the songs. I don't know the
yeah.
official names of a lot of them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I think on that one, if you give it Stay Fly, I would say Stay Fly is a bigger song. But I think that to some people, this is where the song might resonate with you. So when you pair the two up, it just shows everything because uh 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 that particular song from No Limit was a it wasn't probably as big as a commercial hit as much as it was a down south hit. But to some people that were watching, fans of both, I could see if they picked No Limit for that one though, man.
Yeah.
But
All
I'm gonna
right.
go Stay Fly on there.
Okay. So that's 1-1.
Yep.
Uh okay. Then Project Bitch versus Freakos.
Project Bitch.
So Cash Money got 2. Uh I'm on Fire versus how you do that there.
How you do that there?
Yeah. All right. So we tied up. Cash Money is an Army, Betty at the Navy. Uh, 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 Players in the Cadillac. This is for the
It's
players
for
at
the
the
players in the
Cadillac.
Cadillac with the van. I'm gonna do Cash Money as the Army, Betty at the Navy.
That
Yeah,
BG song goes so hard, bro.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Motion versus You Ain't Gotta Say Too Much.
Oh, listen.
Now you know that
I
You Ain't Gotta Say Too Much that was that sequence.
oh my gosh, man.
But that
See,
slow motion is hard though.
slow motion is hard. I'm gonna go, bro. Listen, I'm gonna go slow motion because slow motion was actually a single. But the fact that they picked it, right, tells you how hard it is, though, because you ain't gotta say too much. I can tell from your eyes, and I can tell you wanna cut. And you ain't gotta call me your boo. It's one of my favorite No Limits. It's like this. For me personally,
Yeah.
that's probably one of my top 5 No Limit songs of all of them.
So you got Cash Money up right now, 4-2. All right.
I'm
Then
gonna give that one to Cash Money though.
okay. So then we got Bling Bling versus It Ain't My Fault.
Bling bling. Bling bling. And the only reason why I said because you think about it, bling bling is in the dictionary, right? It's a pop culture term. So yeah.
All right, Set It Off and Mr. Ice Cream Man.
Mr. Ice Cream Man. Easily. That was right. That's when they turned around to me. Right
Okay.
when they did Mr. Ice Cream Man, I felt like No Limit was coming back then, though, bro.
Number one stunner versus Bout It Bout It.
About it. And listen, how he set it up was crazy because Baby got out there. Birdman was like, I'm the one that started this stunner stuff, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one started. And he said, yo, you might have started that, but you might have been the first one. I gave you that. You was the one that was out there stunning on it. When I started this bout it stuff, though, and it was like, if you bout it, say you bout it. And I like that right there. I'm talking about the timing of it, though, bro, was absolutely brilliant how the boy P came in there with that one, though, bro.
All right. We got to Get Your Roll On and Make them say,
Hold on. Yeah. Make him say, easily.
Okay. All right. We tied up.
Yeah.
Hot Girl versus Chopper Style.
Oh. Hot girl.
Okay.
Hot girl. But I'm gonna be honest. I like the chopper style. Chopper style is what comes to mind when I think of New Orleans bounce. It's like one of them songs. Like when I think of like DJ Jubilee, chopper style, like them the kind of songs that come to mind though. That particular one. Chopper style, chopper style, chopper style. Yeah. It's one of them ones though, man. Yeah.
Millie versus F the Mother Ninjas.
See, here we go. Because they brought out Snoop Dogg, that won it for me, right?
Mhm.
But if Wayne was there, if Wayne would have just came out for Millie, I think I would have said Cash Money. But because he didn't, I'm gonna go with Cash. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with No Limit on them.
Okay, wait. What did you say for Hot Girl or Chopper Style?
Hot girl.
Okay. And then you just said After Mother Ninjas, right?
Yeah.
So you got Cash Money winning, bro.
No, I thought it was more songs.
No.
Hey, listen. Okay, listen. So let's rewind that back. Okay.
400 Degrees versus No Limit Soldiers. You said No Limit Soldiers.
No Limit
Stay
Soldier.
Fly versus Break You Off Something.
Break you
And
off.
Stay
song,
Fly.
Stay fly. No, hold on. That's where I look at it. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Then Project Bitch versus Free Codes. You said Project.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm on Fire and How You Do That There. You said How You Do That There.
How you do that there?
The BG, Cash Money's Army, Betty at the Navy. You had that.
Over what? What was the cat? What was the?
Players in the Cadillac. This is for the players in the Cadillac.
Oh man, yeah.
Okay, slow motion versus you. You ain't got to say too much. You said slow motion. Bling bling, or it ain't my fault. You said bling bling. Set it off versus Mr. Ice Cream Man. You said Mr. Ice Cream Man. Number one stunner versus Bout It. You said Bout It. Get your roll on versus Make Them Say You said Make Them Say And then Hot Girl versus
I've kind of like 5. No Limit was 4 or 5.
It's 4.
Okay.
And then you got Get Your Roll On versus Make Them Say You said Make Them Say
Yeah.
And you said Hot Girl versus Chopper Style. You said Hot Girl. And then
hold on. Even then, by that count, Cash Money still would be up by 1, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's so. So listen,
so you got Cash Money winning.
Yeah, so listen, if we're going by round, and okay, put like this. This is the one thing I think is crazy. Here we go. I know what the explanation is. Okay. It's like this. It gave me Locks versus Dipset vibes from this standpoint, right? I think that Cash Money does have more of the hit songs, and they didn't even get more deeper into the Wayne category, though, right? The Wayne catalog,
because he wasn't there.
But I thought that, they put Millie out there though, right? And he wasn't there. But I think that one of the things, because they could have played 6 foot, 7 foot, they could have played some, so they could have gotten some Drake, Nicki, but I think they took the old Cash Money. But here's the thing I think that's crazy to me though, right? I think that even though I think that out of those particular songs, because they didn't date, so if I'm Cash Money, I wouldn't have played Players in the Cadillac. I would have played Let Me Hit It, right? There are some other songs that I think that Cash Money could have played. But even with that said, I mean that No Limit could have played. I think that while numbers wise, I would have said that Cash Money won if they just put the songs on paper. But I think that for the presentation of these, it felt so much like it was so one-sided for No Limit, though. Like the performance of it. And it reminded me of where Dipset had some hot songs, but Locks was just so on them that the presentation of their version of their songs was just so much better. And that gave me that kind of vibe, though, bro. So I still, on paper, I would give it to Cash Money. I'll stick to that. But in terms of that night on performances of those songs, I give it to No Limit, and it was very easy too, though, bro.
So, what you think about the beef, though?
So this is the thing. So which beef are you talking about?
Okay, so Birdman basically came out there, was like, listen, I met everybody, whoop to whoop to whoop. Turk, you ain't here, F you, blah 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 blah.
I don't know that. I think that Turk, who had his own like little viewing thing or whatever. I don't know what Turk's issue is with Cash Money. But listen, Turk left Cash Money before he went to jail, and everybody's issues with him has always been behind money, right? I just saw recently like an old interview of Manny Fresh, where he was basically saying that that Jay-Z, when he was over Def Jam, wanted to sign Manny Fresh to Def Jam and have his own imprint on there. And he wanted to have his first song to make some noise as a song that he did with Lil Wayne, though, right? So they had the song and they was ready to go ahead and submit it. And Birdman was like, nah, we ain't doing that though, right? He was like, yeah, well, I already got this clear with Wayne. They was like, no, Wayne don't speak for Wayne though, right? We make them shots on over here. And of course, it was after Manny Fresh left there and everything like that though, man. And so, Manny, I always thought Manny Fresh, Birdman, big timers as a group, but when everybody leaves them, so I think that's probably why Turk may have left. So, but I don't know what his beef is with them though, man. So,
well, see, I heard that the reason why Wayne wasn't there was because he said, "Listen, if we ain't all there, then I'm not there."
Well, Wayne didn't want to be there the last time they did the big thing out in the Essence Festival, though. It looked weird from that, though, man. So I don't know, man. I think that what's weird about it is this, though, man. It honestly feels like to me that Wayne has said and without saying any words specifically, I'm bigger and I've moved on from them. And I think that it feels like Wayne doesn't want to feel like he wants his where he is now to be associated with the old acts that you got to think though, man. Like that was for Wayne. That was probably almost 20 years ago that he was rocking with them though, man. And so I think so much changed and he's so much of a bigger artist. And I just don't think that he's necessarily like feeling them these days though, bro. And but I still don't know exactly what Turk's thing is though, bro. But I can only imagine what if it's consistent with everything else. It's about bread contracts though, man.
Yeah.
But to
All
call
right.
him out, but to call him out like that, it further implies that there is some kind of beef though, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other big stories popping off. The NBA, well, the FBI came and started arresting people in a big sting involving gambling and also manipulating games. So they picked up Chauncey Billups, and they also picked up Terry Rozier from the Miami Heat. And they're saying the Terry Rozier thing goes all the way back when he played with the Hornets, to where he kind of told some people ahead of time, like, look, I'm going to be out of the game. And then he took himself out with a foot injury, allegedly. And then Chauncey Billups, he's kind of in it for two things. He's in it for a poker game, which, bro, the details on the poker game was like I was reading the next Ocean's 11, bro. And
Talk to me about it.
huh? Okay, so
Talk to
they
me
said
about
the
it.
mafia is involved, and basically what it is Chauncey Billups was listed as what's called a oh my gosh, I can't think. I can't think of what they call him, but anyway, when they bring people in, those are called fish. And so you're like, cool, I get the opportunity to play against NBA legend and Chauncey Billups. And they say they got this thing rigged out. People got spy glasses on the tables got x-rays on it. Everybody is in on it but the fish. So they out here just and then it's for the mafia allegedly. So if you ain't paying your money, then you getting them hands put on you until you do pay. And so it's this whole just round robin circle of just people just getting played. And all these tables is rigged, all these cards is rigged. Everybody, they got spy glasses, they got doggone contact lenses, like everybody's in on it, but the fish that are being brought in. And then they're saying, and so you have these marks who are like Chauncey Billups, who are basically, I guess, told to go and pick up these players or recruit these players to, I guess, maybe to pay off their debt or whatever the case may be. So he's involved in that. And then he's also allegedly involved in telling people ahead of time of people that weren't going to play in certain games because they were in the tanking process trying to get Wemby, and ended up, not getting him in the lottery, whatever the case may be. And then you got Damon Jones, who's another coach. And of course, anytime you are somewhat tied to LeBron, they got to bring his name up. So he was also involved with telling people who was not going to play in games ahead of time. So those are the alleged accusations based upon the crimes that have been presented. So what do you think?
Pack them boys up and get them out my face, man.
So you
Pack
think
them up and get them out my face, bro. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. I still don't believe Malik Beasley is innocent, bro. And they found him, bro. Listen, man. Okay, let's talk about Chauncey Billups. Pack him up. He done. He out of here. If he got his gold jacket, you might want to revoke it and give him a jean jacket, though, bro. Because I think that, listen, if you mean to tell me that one, as an NBA coach, if you've tipped off somebody that you are officially going to be taken to go ahead and get Wemby so you're not playing with them, if an ounce of that is true, though, bro, if you did it one time, get him out of here. But the other part is this, though, man. If you have been recruiting players, right, you've been going against your brotherhood to bring them into a poker match, right? Where at any point that they're being taken advantage of, and you know that get them out of there, and not just that though, bro. Shoot me the fade before you get locked up, bro. We gotta run them hands, though, bro, because I went under that. I went under the assumption that you, my brother, we from the same fraternity, right? A brotherhood, and that surely now this got to be some kind of level of legitimacy. If you brought me in, you the coach, right? So you got to be. So nah, and this is my thing. If he invited any of his own players in, they need to run them hands on him, though, bro. We need to have a quick 5 minutes, though, bro. And listen, I don't think that, and listen, if any of it, if he's found to be involved in any way, though, bro, banned for life. Get him out of there, bro. Get
Dang,
him out my face.
it's like that,
Banned
bro.
for life. Yes, bro. Yes. I can say, listen, my thing about it. You know the problem that I have, though, bro, is while I've never played a minute in the NBA, though, bro, I absolutely love the NBA, and I like to believe that integrity means something, though, bro. And so I just think that if you're associated with any way of basically kind of defiling the NBA's integrity in any kind of way, get them out of here. And if I'm another player, or if I'm a former player, I don't know how you can't necessarily be like, yo, he my boy. I'm gonna go ahead and support him. Nah, you violated. So now you got to go ahead and slide. But listen, that's him. If you Damon Jones, I don't know how you ever get on anybody's sideline, because then I feel like you out here just rat, you out here chatty patty to whomever, though, bro. For a price. Get him out my face too, though, bro. Get him off my sideline. I don't want to see him even be an analyst for an NBA team. I don't want to see him on TV talking about it. I think that all of those people who are caught up, they should just be exiled and nobody should have anything to do with them at all, though, bro. When you violate the integrity of the game like that, get out my face. But Terry Rozier, bro, I don't know how. I don't know how you ever play aside somebody who they say allegedly he said, go ahead and place the bet that I won't hit my averages because I'm gonna pull myself out to guarantee that, right? And you might legitimately be injured. That's not even what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
You gave it a go, and you basically said, I'm gonna try to go ahead and go. But the sports bet, if your numbers stayed what they were, if they say at least hit your averages, they scale back the actual betting line based off of your availability and based off your injuredness and the likeliness that you'll play 100%. But if I tell you, hey, Ace, go ahead though, man, and bet as high as you can because I ain't playing though, bro. And they don't know that yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you the inside scoop that I ain't playing. You go ahead and you put $250,000 down to say I ain't go. Dog, that just looks super suspicious. And so my thing is this, though, bro. If I'm a teammate of yours and I see that you pull yourself out of the game, if I'm watching you take wild shots, if I see you missing shots, I'm looking at what was a sports bet on your line then, bro, because listen, you looking kind of erratic out here, though, bro. And I'm not saying that every player would be able to go out there and play their exact best every single time. But
Right.
I've seen you drop 40 points, 50 points, and I see you out here just throwing up stuff. I see you out here half-assing on defense. I'm seeing you impact the game. I just feel like, but you might give me the suspicion that you doing this on purpose, though, bro. I can't play with them though, man. I can't. Because I only play to win. And if you're not playing to win the game, though, bro, I already don't want to be aside you, right? If you're not playing to win. But if you're telling me that you already make $20 million a year, $30 million a year, over $150 million in your playing career, and you think that $200,000, 250, like that, those little things, like, nah, get out my face and get him up out of here, though, bro. Pack him up. I think that you got a ban for life, though, man.
Wow.
Send him where that referee is. If they ban for life, Pack both of them up and put them in the same room together, though, bro. I don't never listen. I like Terry Rozier when he's doing this thing, and I was a fan of Chauncey Billups as well, though, bro. But if you are violating the integrity of basketball, bro, I don't have to never see you on another sideline ever, though, bro. Get out my face. You can go start your own little podcast if you want to be associated with anything with basketball, but I don't want to see nothing. Get out my face.
Yeah, I definitely want to see what more information comes out about it, because I mean, if they're guilty, they're guilty.
With that being said, I'm going to expect the same thorough investigation when it comes to this Epstein file, because that tells me you got time, you got the resources. Because Terry Rozier has been he played almost all last season with the Miami Heat. And if you're telling me that this investigation on him goes back to when he was at the Hornets, he played with the Hornets for about 3 years, though, bro. So you got the resources, you got the bandwidth. I'm gonna need that same kind of energy to go ahead and attack this Epstein list. Stop playing in my face. Don't try to tell me that you're doing everything that you legally can do. When you went down the rabbit hole of this and you put in some manpower to do this, though, man, and you were proud because you went out there and told these people, y'all been looking at this for a long time. You can spend some hours on this Epstein file, then, bro.
Yo, somebody
Get out my face and stop playing in my face, man.
Somebody said this is payback for them not getting Diddy caught up the way they were supposed to.
Hey, listen, and you know what? When it comes to that, I think that it's funny because the Cheetos said I could pardon him. That's something I could do. And it tells me that he's thinking about it, though, bro. It tells me that he's like legit over here thinking like, yeah, depending on what did he start talking about in there, I might have to go ahead and let him on out of there, though, bro. Oh my God, bro. Listen, I don't know, bro.
You got anything?
I need them Epstein files. I need them Epstein files investigated to the same level of due diligence, bro.
Right. You got anything?
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
That's all I have. But I did want to say this, though, man. I want to send a double congratulations to my wife, the research department, Nikki Venus. Let me tell you this, though, man. We went out to the big reveal, and I mentioned previously that while she didn't make the top 10, and the top 10 would be the people who would be candidates to actually get the cover of best, I think it's best style, best life, or best you, Atlanta. She did finish in the top 16. They had they have the top 10 and the next 6. They call it their Super 6, though, man. I thought it was real cool. Last night we went on out to the big reveal, though, man. And I thought it was real dope because some of the pictures that they had for the Super 6, and I think that it'd be very, very tastefully done, though, bro. One of the things that I appreciated about it as well is that, you know, they've been doing this thing for some years, basically. And so they've developed an alumni system and for networking as well, though, bro. And so I think that I'm happy for her that it's a very, very tightly knit networking web alumni associated with them, though, man. So the fact that she can now say that she's a part of that is a great thing for her as an entrepreneur, business owner. But I was very happy for her, though, man. Very proud of the work that she put into it, that one, though, man. So,
That's super dope.
Yeah.
I made sure I voted a couple of times. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, man, we are the Slash Brothers, joining us every single Tuesday from at 6 p.m. And we are the Slash Brothers. Thank you for joining us from ATL to OKC. We out. We'll see y'all next time. I knew I was gonna do that because I just gave her the claps.
Hey, yo, pause that. You gave her the claps.
I gave her an applause, a round of applause.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?